Hi, it's Dawn, Red Barn Crafty Stuff, and I just finished a few minutes ago a freehand heart piece, and all of my hearts were going like they had a hurricane blowing them to the east. So I pulled out a stencil by Tim Holtz. It's stencil number 17, and I traced these middle sizes on here, and I thought I wanted to play some more with my Potter's Pink, Moonglow, and Rose of Ultramarine. And I think I'm just going to kind of bounce around between those three colors. They're not going to touch each other. It's going to be all very samey, you know, whatever. I'll vary this. But I just want to play with these a bit more. And yeah, so I'm going to start out. I've got the three palettes here sitting here with the yumminess of these colors. And let's just paint some hearts. Probably should have dodged these pencil lines, but we're going to walk on the wild side today. This is Rose of Ultramarine, which is one of my new favorite colors. And I think it just granulates so pretty. And Potter's Pink is a pretty granulation, and then so is Moonglow. So between the two, oops, I think I might have grabbed some other colors here from my other session, so I'm going to grab it from the side. Just going to kind of bounce around these three colors and just see what kind of muted Valentine situation we can get, or just page of hearts, you know. And the thing about this is this could be a birthday card, a Valentine's card, or just cut up into some other things. There's just no rules here when you make these little sheets. This is a 5x7 piece of 100% cotton watercolor paper. And, you know, when you use this, you can cut it into two smaller pieces and make cards out of them very easily. And I think it makes for a little fun exercise, a little brush control, a little pigment play, a little water control, and then you get to do something fun with it when you're done. Like make two Valentine's cards out of it, right? Ooh, I grabbed a lot of pigment there, but that's just it. We're going to have some that are highly pigmented and then some that are a bit more softer, like that first one. And I should say up front, I am not a card maker. My sister is a card maker. I have friends that are card makers. That is not my thing. But I enjoy making things in general, and in the process of doing so, I note that where people can have ideas, you know, where just this can be a journal card. It could go into a junk journal magazine, a junk journal book, or it could go into a glue book if you're into those, or it could be a journaling card. Did I say that? Yeah, I think I did. I'm repeating myself. Anyway, the point is that I want the ideas are endless, and when somebody looks at something, I don't want them to go, well, I don't make art to put on my walls, or I don't make cards, or I don't make junk journals. That's okay. Make what makes you happy, or use it. I'm just trying to get people to think outside the box, how they could use it in their art or in their practice. Sometimes I just make for the sake of making. I have no goal in mind. Like this has no goal. Probably will not be a card. Probably won't go on my wall. And that's okay. I just love this Moonglow. Look at that. Look at that. Just look. Look, I tell you. Look at it, Mama. Look. Look. Look, Mama. So what I am going to do is use varying strengths for these hearts, so that some of these are, as you can see, more pigmented and others are less. Like I'm going to go in really hard here on the Potter's Pink and do a really strong. And then I'm not going to do a pattern. It's going to be unpatterned, intentionally unpatterned. All right, here we go. Let's go hard with the Potter's Pink. And then we'll go soft on something else. And maybe 3 colors isn't enough. Maybe I'm going to wish for a 4th, but you know, here we are. And as I've mentioned before, I'm not a purple girly, but man, these colors sure do make me happy around Valentine's. This feels awful purpley, but we're leaning into it. We are leaning into it. That's that Rose of Ultramarine. I marked it on my palette finally. I'm going to have to start twisting because I really want to get these crisp corners, or crisp point down here at the heart, at the end of the heart. I really like that crispness. And it's easier to pull it instead of push it. Okay, let's see. Back to Moonglow. Moonglow is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And even though purple isn't my favorite color, I do like how the blue granulates in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to pick it up so you can see. But it's got a lot of blue in it right there. Because it's got the ultramarine in it, so. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see what it does. That thing is going to be really interesting. I really like how deep that color is. I may do some more of those. I need to do a deep Rose of Ultramarine too, because I really didn't get much of a... Alright, Moonglow. Wait, I said that wrong. I don't know that Moonglow has ultramarine in it. Oh well. Maybe. Obviously it does, because look at the blue. I mean, it has to, right? Well, nothing has to, but... Okay, Potter's Pink. Let's come over here. Put you in here a little bit. Grab a little water. Okay. And then we'll go grab a little more pigment. Okay, so now I'm curious what Moonglow has in it. Let's sit over here to my side. Let me grab it in a second, look at it. Okay, Moonglow, what you got? PG-18, and it does have Ultramarine, PB-29. It had to have. I mean, I don't know why I questioned it, but, you know, you just think, well, does it or doesn't it? I don't know. I don't study the pigments necessarily. I mean, I know of them, but I'm definitely not a pigment geek. I'd like to be one at some point, but I'm not there yet. Okay, let's go back to Rose of Ultramarine. We're going to go super pigmented on this one too. Just because we can. I'm being a little more precious with this series than I was with the last heart one. Truth be told, I like reds better, but when it comes to Valentine's. But granulating reds are not as common, and I really like the granulation in them. Okay, that turned out really pretty. Alright, let's go back to Potter's Pink, and I'm allowing myself to keep a little bit of Rose of Ultramarine on my brush. I did not clean it between, and I think that's kind of a cool thing to do. That's a dry brush right there. Of course, I'm painting hearts because we're a couple, 3 weeks out from Valentine's, and you know, it's seasonal. It's in the stores. It's in the home decor store sections of anywhere you go, and it's just relevant, right? Okay, let's do a light, super light Moonglow here, just to throw some really pale hues next to the deeper ones, so that everything's not so bam in your face. And if you're like me and you can't draw a straight heart to save your life, pull your stencils out. Go through your stash. You're going to be surprised at what you have, I promise. Because even if you don't have something for that season, or something that you think will work, you might have something else. Go with an open mind and see what you got. Alright, I am not going to add any more pigment to this brush yet. I may. And I'm just getting water and making something really, really pale here. And this would be what was left on my brush from the Moonglow. And I may do it one more time just because the goal here is to make all of the hearts be different. And the super saturated is beautiful, but the super pale can be just as pretty. I was talking to my sister earlier, and she's making Valentine's cards today, and she's very symmetrical. This is going to please her very much. This is symmetry. This is her thing. And I said to her, you know, symmetry is great, but so is asymmetry. Symmetry is beautiful. And I find asymmetry typically more pleasing to my eye than symmetry, until I don't. because this I love. This right here. The other piece I did that was asymmetrical, turns out I'm not enjoying that as much as I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot. Okay, so I had rose of ultramarine for there, and now I'm just doing water, or just added water to the brush and using the leftover pigment. And it's pretty easy stuff. The pencil lines are still there. Yep. Pencil to paper. Yep. All right, where am I going next? Let's do a pale what? Let's do a pale potter's pink, I think. Pale-ish. And my stencil lines aren't perfect either. That's okay. There's a little bit of paint on my palette with my potter's pink from my previous session. There's a little bit of, could be Quin Rose, if I had to guess. So that last one, I'm pretty sure I pulled some Quin Rose into the brush, but again, this is not a purist exercise. This is just fun. So we're going to take the color, whatever it is. All right, I think I'll just add some water to that and go pale it and go pigment only, or what's left in the pigment only. The pigment that's left in the brush only. I can talk, I promise. Okay, there we go. Wow, what a pretty pale pink that is. Pretty sure that's got Quin Rose in it, but I don't care. All right, back to Moonglow. Let's go for a really medium Moonglow here. If we keep doing pale, oh, that's more than medium. If we keep doing pale, then that becomes too monotonous too. Let's turn our paper this way. Also, turning your paper gives you a different perspective. Back to the rose of ultramarine. Could use a little more water there. A little too. All right, a little more water still. Alright, now where do we want to go? I think we'll go back to Moonglow. Thought about doing just a whole page of Moonglow. That would make me happy. Or a whole page of Rose of Ultramarine. That would also make me happy. But I already kind of did the Rose of Ultramarine when I did that negative shit painting on the hearts. So, I don't know. A couple, 3 colors seem like a good idea here. Wow, this is very lilac-y when it's all watered out. It's super pale. I love it. All right. Going kind of heavy on the rose of ultramarine here. I need more water to do that. Oof. Hello. Too much water. I knew it when I did it too. That's the wonderful part about these exercises though, is you really do get to have that experience so that the muscle memory is there. Now I'm just borrowing this water, spreading it out. What I might do is I might come back and charge this with Moonglow here in a second. Yeah, I think I will. Why not, right? Alright, now let's see what we get when we do this one. So I did not add any more pigment. It's got some Rose of Ultramarine, some Moonglow, and some water. Could be a fun color. It is a fun color. I'm gonna go heavy on this Moonglow. Make it super dark. Since I've got a Moonglow right there. It's medium. And I've got a lot of colors around it that are kind of pale. I'll go heavy now. Yeah. And just add a little water and go back here. Oops. Oh well. Even though it's really pale with Moonglow here, this is a it's a different purple. Isn't that fun? It is. Okay. Pick up a little bit of Potter's Pink, and there's that little quinacridone rose that's beside it. So if that happens to whoopsie, oh darn, it got into the paintbrush. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Keep painting, I guess. And all this is one big experiment. None of this was pre-planned. None of this was thought out. I'm just going on the fly. Shooting from the hip. Couldn't ask for anything better, honestly. Oh, number one son is home. Boy. Okay. So you look at how that Moonglow is in the middle of that Rose of Ultramarine. I love that. I absolutely love that. We'll go heavy on Moonglow again. Right here. Ooh, ooh, okay. I said heavy. I was not kidding. Oh man. That is super, that's almost black right there. Ooh. That might be a little too. That might be too dark. Don't know. Okay. Well, let's try a little desaturation of that color right next door. Let's do that. There. Interesting to see how that big dark guy dries. Might be a little too dark, or I might go right there. But I've already got a kind of a dark one there, so it might work. It might work. We'll see. I'm going to mix in a little rose of ultramarine onto the existing brush that has the Moonglow on it and do something here, which will be a surprise. Surprise! But I like it. I like it. We are going to do some water. Okay, so boy, I keep getting heavy on that Moonglow, don't I? But it's pretty.
Are you recording?
I am.
We are going to do some washing, and I'm going to pull out.
Back to my Potter's Pink. I'm still trying to love this color. I don't dislike it. I just you can't love it until you learn it. So I'm trying to learn it so I can love it. Learn it. Learn it so I can learn it. That's what we're doing. I find that if I go over the heart a second time and go back around, it gets a good outline. Like some of these that have dried now, I just went around it once and you can see where it's got a bit of a jaggedy edge, where other ones where I went around it twice have a nice edge to it. Well, that's just part of it, but if I go around it twice, it feels like I can get a good shape, if that's your goal. If your goal is just to let it do what it do, especially when you're on rough paper like this. And this is, I think, rag cotton, I think is what the package said. And I don't know enough about that to know if that's good or bad or typical for a rough texture. I know that cold pressed paper is always going to be a rough texture, but anyway, I find if I go around it, take my time and go around it twice, go around the edges like that, you just get a nice shape. Again, if that's your goal, great. Sometimes I like the looseness and the roughness of the shapes when I watercolor. I've got some large frames on my gallery wall that I'm thinking about. Some of these things are kind of helping me get into a frame of mind about what I want to put in them. And I rotate my art through. Because one, I like seasonal art, and two, there's stuff I do that I love it for a while and then I don't, and I'm ready to, move it on down the road. When I first was becoming an artist and I was listening to artists talk about, I'll tell you, there was this particular situation, and it was an artist who's still out there, but you just don't hear about her as much anymore. Her name's Donna Downey. She's up in North Carolina, and man, I just was like a sponge. I just sit and listen to everything she put out. And she had these, it's like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, these Inspiration Wednesday that she'd put out every Wednesday, where she'd sit down. She had no idea what content she was going to create. She just pulled out something and said, today we're doing, we're using these products. And then whatever happened. But anyway, the point of the story is that there came a point where she was having a sale on her site of some of her art that she'd made. And some of this stuff was stuff that I had watched her make in videos, not the Inspiration Wednesday ones, just other ones. But it would start as an Inspiration Wednesday, and then it would move to, she'd make like a big 20 by 20 piece of it or whatever, or a version of it. It would spark an idea for her that she would then make into a bigger piece. And then she'd hang it in her home for a while, best I could tell, or in her gallery, because she had a studio back in the day, and a brick and mortar studio where she had classes and sold art supplies, and then she'd sell them. And I was like, how could it? Because as a budding artist or new artist, I was, so not jealous, but envious, maybe is a better word, of the art that she could create and then hang in her house and her studio, her work. And then I'd be like, how can she part with that? But now I've got some pieces in my home that are 10 years old or older. And some I'll always have, and some I'm okay to part with. I get it now. I didn't get it then, but I get it now. And so that's a very long-winded way of saying I like to make stuff, and sometimes I keep it, and sometimes I give it away right away, sell it right away, whatever. Sometimes I sit with it for a spell and then let it go. And it just seems very natural now. At the time that I was listening to her, I was like, oh, I could never, And but there was something my daughter told me once that stuck with me all these years, and she said that some resources, some things are meant to be, you're meant to let them go so that others can enjoy them, and the more you let go, the more comes to you. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it was There's a lesson that took me a while to understand. Just because I'm the type of person that likes to collect beautiful things in my home. And antiques and fabrics and old pottery and just all kinds of things. And the idea of letting something go to be with somebody else was just kind of foreign to me for a long time. But now I understand. And I feel that way about my art finally. Took me a long time to get there though. Because they all felt like children. And how could one let one's children go, you know? But then you realize, no, it's just paint on paper or paper on paper or whatever. And it's okay to let those go. Your energy's in them. Your love and your vibe are in them. But creativity, was it Maya Angelou that says creativity is not divided, it's multiplied? And again, I'm doing a butchering job of paraphrasing her, but something like that. It's a great quote. She does a better job of it than me, so go look it up if you're interested, because I did a terrible job quoting her just now. But hopefully my art is a rainbow in somebody's cloud. Hopefully I'm a rainbow in somebody's cloud somewhere. I know that I am. Another Maya Angelou quote. That one I got spot on. Okay. And I'm sitting here debating whether or not I want to do any gold or any embellishment, any, dots or lines or doodles on these hearts. And I think the answer for now is no. I'll sit with it for a while and see if I still feel that way. And I may come back and do in a few weeks' time and go, yeah, these need doodles or something. Or I may just leave it right the way they are. Which is not even in a journal yet. But the process, the fun was doing it. Probably won't stick around. I sure enjoy these meditative moments with my watercolor. They're very good for me. And if you try this, I think you'll find it could be very good for you too. No matter what your stencil pattern, no matter what colors you have in your palette, you could have Crayola colors for all it matters. Just pull out some paper, pull out a scrabby old brush if that's all you got, pull out some Crayola watercolors if that's all you got, and just sit and fill a page with shapes, whatever shapes makes you happy, because these make me happy. This has made me happy. And this has been another fun exercise of putting paint to paper. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chilling out with watching me doodle what I do. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.